Good morning. I'd like to talk real quick about the Pin Vise that I offer in my toolkits, my reed replacement kit. Um, I used to offer a heavy one, and I realized that they were just almost more than twice the price, and you really didn't need that extra weight. These work just as well, if not better. Um, when you like, I use them mainly to support to hold the taps, and I like to, I don't know if you can see that, but I like to engrave the size of the tap. This is M1.4. I have an older kind of pin vise here that you can clearly see. That's an M2 tap that it holds, but so I just keep them together. You can't just hand tighten. You really need to, it's metal on metal. You really need to use two pliers to squeeze the end together, just so that it's centered and it's secure. You don't want it wobbling. If your tap doesn't turn, like if it wobbles, you're going to wear that tap out. You're going to break it prematurely. So make sure that it's secure, and you're going to have a lot of success. So one end holds the instrument. You have this other end that you can hold some drill bits. Let's say you just got a fresh reed and you want to enlarge the clearance hole. I highly recommend you get a good quality drill bit. When I go to the hardware store, this is a 1/16. It's the smallest bit that's commonly available, 1/16 of an inch. I can either buy, one for $1 or $1.50, or I can get the higher quality one. Sometimes they say they have 6 times the life, or they're made of various materials. Get the more expensive one, and you'll have a lot more success. It'll last longer, it'll cut better, and especially if you're cutting by hand. So it's a snug fit to fit into the collet here. And what you need to do is just don't shove it in all the way. The further back it goes, the more secure it's going to be, and the more success you're going to have. Okay, so here we are. Tighten that up. As I mentioned, don't just use finger pressure, but just use 2 pliers to make that nice and snug. Okay, and so now if we want to drill, you could use a drill press. I want to enlarge this hole to 1/16 so that it has some wiggle room, so I can guarantee that 100% of the time it's going to I'm going to have success, and I'm going to replace this. So let me see if I can show you. As I start, you can see some brass coming off. Okay, I don't want to push too hard downwards, because then I'm going to take off too much brass, and I'm going to warp the rivet. I'm warp the reed pad, the rivet pad. Okay, so when I see a large flake of brass coming off like that, I just sort of lighten up my force and maybe turn a bit faster, and then at one point it'll catch and go through and through. There, I've gone through and through, and I have, just like that, enlarged the hole. Let's see if we can show. Now it's a 1/16 of an inch hole in my reed pad. I can take this is my anvil. You can use a brick, you can use an anvil. And now this is ready for flattening. This is my flattening pin. And this reed is ready to go. Hope it clarifies how to best use the pin vise. Again, the key is for whatever instrument you're using to be snug. So tighten them up really nicely. It is dual-ended. Can I put a tap on this side and a drill bit on this side, yeah, but you have 100% chance of breaking either one of them if ever you drop this. Okay, one of them is going to buy it. So I don't, even though they come dual ended, I don't recommend you use them dual ended. Use one at a time, or hold your. You can hold your tap. You can hold a screw. You can use this to emboss. It works very well. It's nice. If that's the way you like to do embossing, and that's the pin vise.